My name is Carol Clark. I work here at Realtime Worlds in Dundee. I'm a producer for the studio. The producer, in a game sense, help bring everything together, help people communicate between each other, set processes and practices up to help the teams do their jobs and make sure that the right things are happening at the right time. It's a big team that we have here, so there's a lot of potential for miscommunication, so sometimes conflict arises from that. Production's role often is to come in and just try and help people come to the right decisions. I started off working in IT and was moved into project management, so went off and worked for an internet service provider doing IT project management. Subsequently, while I was working for the ISP, I saw a job advertised at a games studio here in Dundee for project manager. And games have been a lifelong passion for me. So, you know, it's kind of exciting seeing a job that was being advertised that I could actually do in the games industry. As much as there's a lot of similarities between the two things, because making games is a very, very technical thing. It's also very different because you have the creative involvement. So as much as you've got the technology platform that everything runs on, that, you know, especially these days is very, very complex and very expensive, there's, you know, the kind of creative layer on top, making the technology actually fun to use. My childhood was spent in Highland, Perthshire. So I grew up there. I grew up very much in the countryside, so very outdoors sort of life. I guess my biggest hobby as a child was probably playing games. It started with Dad buying my brother and I Game Boys for Christmas the year they came out. So it was Super Mario and Tetris. At school I picked the subjects that I was good at or I enjoyed. You know, I didn't, as I say, because I didn't have a clear idea what job I wanted to do, that wasn't what was guiding my subject choice. It was more about what I enjoyed and what I was good at. Even when I was finishing school at 17, I went and did a computing degree because I was good at computing and I loved technology. I had no concept even when I was entering university what job I might actually like to do. My sister is 17, so she's just gone into her last year of hires at the school that I went to. She felt this pressure to choose her subjects really carefully because if she makes the wrong decisions now, she's not going to have any career choices later in life. When I look back, what I did was completely accidental. It troubles me to think that kids at school get really worked up at the age of 17, that they're going to mess up their whole lives just by picking the wrong hires or whatever. I think that most people will find their way if, you know, the kind of passion for it and the want for it is strong enough. Which isn't to say that you should slack off at school, do you know what I mean? I'm not advocating that, and I wasn't the best student, I'll be perfectly honest. But, you know, you'll get where you want to go if you kind of pay enough attention and work hard enough and maybe start at the bottom somewhere, you know, and kind of work your way up. I do have ambition, and I think it's difficult kind of thinking about what I might do next after this, because the game we're working on here is huge. It's an amazing game. It has the potential to be unbelievably successful. So for the near future, I see myself staying here and being very happy here and, you know, loving the thing I'm working on. How do you top that? I don't really know yet.